Get ready because today we're going to be discussing one of my newest, and I say this all the time, but one of my newest favorite bags, the Celine Boogie. I've carried this for a couple of weeks religiously, and I have fallen so head over heels with this bag. It is literally the perfect everyday bag, running errands bag, going to the office bag, and I cannot wait to tell you how I feel about this bag. But before we get into all that, hey guys, my name's Caleb. I post luxury and lifestyle related content every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So if that's something you're into, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Check out our membership. We have an awesome engaged community, extra perks, access, early release for the videos. So before we dive into what is probably one of the best forgotten knit bags of the early aughts, we need to understand a little bit of its history, how it got here, what it is, and how we forgot about it. Now, this story starts all the way back in 1998 when Michael Kors was appointed the chief director or whatever, creative head of Celine. So LVMH acquired Celine, I believe in 1996, and up until that point it had been struggling. Now, they originally got their start as like a children's shoe maker, which how we got from that to where we are now, like total polar opposites, but whatever, we're not here for that. The brand was struggling, so they appointed Michael Kors. Now, Michael Kors didn't have his eponymous, Michael Kors brand or Michael Kors, Kors by Michael Kors, you name it. So they appointed him as head chief creative director, and he really turned the brand around. He helped put Celine on the map. So the way that Michael Kors put Celine back on the map was through introducing beautiful, everyday, ready to wear, kind of like a jet set lifestyle that was still like totally attainable and wearable. And it was beautifully done. Now, fast forward 4 years, he introduces the Boogie bag in 2002. Now, the Boogie bag was such a hit. It was seen everywhere, which this was kind of before like all of like the style websites kind of came about. So it's very hard to find celebrities carrying this bag. But if you guys remember Charlotte from Sex and the City, she had at least 2 or 3, maybe even 4 different boogies. My favorite one was when she's blindfolded at, was it Bergdorf's? And she had that beautiful blue boogie night in the suede with the studs. And ever since then, I was hooked. I literally spent years trying to figure out what bag it was. And when I found out it was a Celine Boogie, I was like, oh, duh. I love it. And I have wanted one ever since. So that was probably what, like 23 years ago? It's been a minute. We have seen so many different iterations of the Boogie bag. Now we've seen like the simple black one that I have here, which we'll get into in just a second. But we've seen like some gorgeous iterations. There's currently one on eBay, number 10 of 300, incredibly rare, beautifully hand-painted suede. We've seen it in several different materials, different sizes. It even came as like a hobo bag, which, believe it or not, is harder to find these days. Exotics, you name it, the Boogie bag came in it. There was a couple different sizes. There's the standard that I have here, and then there was like the larger, more everyday work tote size. Now listen, the Boogie bag can be found at amazing prices these days. I think the highest one that I've seen was for a quite gorgeous neutral chocolate shade of brown in crocodile. It's about $2,000. And I've seen them as low as like sub $100. There's such a wide variation. I think the majority of these though are going to be about 100 up to like maybe 700. But there's a few different things to look out for when you're buying these on the pre-owned market. Now keep in mind, I only paid $140 for mine, which was an absolute steal because mine is in nearly mint condition, but I'm gonna give you some tips on what to look for. But also, I've done the legwork for you. I know, you're welcome. And I've linked some really good examples both from eBay and The RealReal down in the description. So just to make your shopping experience a little bit easier, these are all Caleb approved. Make sure to get them authenticated if, I'm not claiming they're authentic. I'm just saying that these are good examples. Some of them I also really want, and they're on my own watch list, so please buy them so I don't, because I can totally see at these price points the Boogie becoming a problem. But some things to look out for if you want to buy your own. Now, the most important thing, this bag is covered in edge coat or glazing, whatever you want to call it. So make sure you're checking around the handle seams, around the seam here at the top. Even here, it's just 2 pieces of leather glued here up at the top. You can see there's no stitching. So that is just literally held on by glue and some glazing up at the top. Check that area. And then this whole trim that runs around the side and along the bottom, that is all just a live edge of leather that has been glazed. So make sure to check that because there's a few lighter examples where it looks absolutely awful. I happen to have a lot of black edge coat on hand, so if I need to eventually repair this, I can. But like I said, mine's in really good shape. Now, I could totally see this bag having a resurgence, both in pop culture and just in style in general, because it's minimalist. As we're moving through, fashion is becoming a little bit more grounded, a little bit more, hush, hush, quiet luxury. I know the term is beat to death, but it's the quickest way to describe what I'm trying to describe. So you only have the Triumph logo here on the rivets, on the handles and the attachments. and this plaque here on the side, which I absolutely love. Now, hardware-wise, it can come in a few different hardwares. The most common, I think, is going to be this brushed nickel. You have to think early 2000s, we're kind of going for like that space age. I don't know, think of like any music video of the time. There's a lot of brushed nickel, both in interiors and in fashion, so this is going to be pretty common. Now, the gold with the brown combo, stunning. There's even like a burgundy with gold combo that is stunning, a white with gold combo. I know, stunning, but I really wanted for my first one, I wanted it to be simple and I wanted it to be just black. Nothing wrong with a good, trusty black bag. Now, material-wise, the most common you're gonna see is what I have here, which I think they either called a shiny calfskin or a waxed calfskin. It is like a beautiful, rich, full-grain leather, and I mean, like the quality of this bag is so superb for 140 bucks, blows my mind. Now, aside from this, you can also see it in like a pebbled leather. Rather than this live edge treatment, those kind of had like more of a rolled seam as opposed to this style. So did they age better? No, not really, because you'll notice a lot more wear on the corners. So just be very mindful, just like any other bag, check your corners. That's where you're gonna show most of the wear. As you can tell with mine, overall, pretty decent. Yeah, I'm not mad at all with this condition. Now, exterior-wise, you do have these two little slip pockets, which back in 2002 might have fit your cute little Motorola V60i. I had the red one, but other than that, modern standards, these are not very big. Now, the interior, that's gonna give you one. Now, with the most standard version, they did change throughout the years and added more pockets, took pockets away. But with my version, I have one slip pocket and then one zippered pocket. As you can tell, the top is totally open, so you don't really have any security as far as that goes. Now, for some reason, the mini versions, which you can find in beautiful exotics and materials, those did get a zipper, so I don't know why the mini version got a zipper, the large one didn't, whatever. Save space, thank you, Michael Kors. But sadly, his reign at Celine ended in 2005, I believe. You have to give him a lot of credit. Now, I know we all dog on Michael Kors quite a bit here in the Luxe community, but Michael Kors walked so Phoebe Philo could run. Without Michael at the helm of Celine, who knows what would have happened with the brand, and it might have just fallen into obscurity, which kind of makes you think, like, how many brands have fallen into obscurity that just needed the right creative director? I'm getting off track. We're talking about the Boogie. Now, let me take a moment. I'm going to show you guys what fits inside, and then I'm going to end with some closing thoughts. Like I was saying, what I love most about this bag is its minimal design. You just have a few Triumph logos here on the handles, one plaque here on the side, and then on the interior, just as minimal. You have one more Triumph logo on this interior zipper compartment, and then one slip pocket here in the back. You'll have Celine here on the front, and on the back side, made in Italy with the serial number. And like I was saying, I love this plain black twill lining. I think sometimes satin interiors can just be a little busy, so I don't know. With something like this, the canvas lining definitely comes in clutch. Now let me show you all what's gonna fit. So like I was saying, this is my first East-West open top style bag, but I was really quite surprised what all could fit. So in here, we're gonna get our posh toilet. This just has some of our daily essentials in there. Slip that on in. Here is another pouch for my headphones, my Bang & Olufsen. Keys, Prada 6-key holder. We'll put that in the back compartment. Here in the zipper compartment, just because, you know, walking around the city, if you're gonna reach in, just take my wallet, just don't take my car keys, because that would be a pain. So we're gonna throw that in here in the center. I mean, please don't take my wallet, but you know what I'm trying to say. Now, speaking of wallet, I like to use this with this bag. Honestly, this is my go-to wallet. I have probably like 15, 20 wallets in my collection, but I use this one almost all the time. That'll slide right down in here. Coach pill case. And last but not least, our extra gum. And this is gonna give you quite a bit of space. Now, with my big Chanel sunglass case, it's not gonna fit in here with this bag, but if you're using a smaller case or even like a sleeve, you can see there is still tons of space in here. So, like I was saying, it's kind of a fabulous bag. I love this thing. In closing, like, do you need a Boogie? Absolutely. I think given the price point, they're very affordably priced now, especially in this new landscape of luxury bags costing $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. 10 plus if you're looking at the Birkin or the Kelly these days. I think it's so important to still be able to get your hands on a good, high quality handbag from a French manufacturer, made in Italy, stunning materials, and like this bag is, I think if I'm reading the date code correctly, I think this one's from 2005. So this is nearly 20 years old, and it looks right at home with some of my newer, much more modern bags. Again, stylistically, I think this is going to work seamlessly into any wardrobe, especially as we're moving towards more minimalism with brands like Kate, The Row, Tote, like all the new brands that are kind of up and coming and everyone's talking about right now with The Row. The Margot Tote, hello. I don't know. I think that the Boogie, it is such a good bag. It's under the radar. Not everyone remembers the Boogie, which is so sad. It's such a good bag. And as soon as I posted my unboxing and my stories over on Instagram, I got so many messages. People wanting the Boogie, people like asking about the Boogie. Melissa from Melissa's Corner also bought a gorgeous brown one and she unboxed it over on her channel, which will be linked down below. Like the Boogie is such a good bag. I can definitely see this having like kind of like a style comeback, you know, a la Balenciaga City bag 5-6 years ago. Like this is gonna be the next it bag revival. Hop on the train while you can and while these are still sub $300 because once they get popular, we've seen it before, they're just gonna go up in price. Anyway guys, thank you for joining me. If you have any questions about the Boogie, let me know down in the comments below. I'm happy to help you out. And until next time, stay safe, have fun. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.